Oh yeah, is it Saturday already? Whew. I'm not late. I'm not 1 minute late. Are you kidding me, chat? Are you kidding me? I'm not late. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? We got a lot to talk about. Whew. We got a lot to talk about. Ahsoka news! Ahsoka news, finally. All right, let's talk some Ahsoka. Let's do it now. Without further ado, how's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? What's up, chat? How's everybody doing? I understand I'm 1 minute late. You don't have to yell. You don't have to yell. I literally just walked in the door. Literally just walked in the door. So we are running. I just arrived. But we have some Ahsoka season 2 news to talk about today, as we finally have rumored, and hang on, taking my shoes off. Literally just ran in the door. Hang on, chat. Taking my shoes off. We're getting comfy. All right, let's do this. Shoes. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, broke something over there. Okay. All right, so we got some Ahsoka news to get into today. Ahsoka Season 2, which is fan-frickin-tastic. Can't wait for Ahsoka Season 2. As you guys know, or as many of you do know, Ahsoka is my single favorite season of Star Wars television ever. It's better than, for me, it's better than Mando Season 2. It's better than Mando Season 1. It's better than Andor. It's better than all the single seasons of Rebels. It's better than all of it. To me, it's the single greatest season of Star Wars television. And to get a second season of that is pretty damn good. So we'll talk about the news when it comes to that. We'll predict if Baylan Skoll is getting recast. Well, we kind of know he's getting recast. But who will recast Baylan Skoll? And we're going to talk about whether or not we will see more of Anakin freaking Skywalker. This is not usually how I start my streams, chat. You guys know that. This is pretty chaotic, but let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Brandon Baker, what is up? Ian, how we doing? Lee, what is up? Joseph in the house. Chris, what is up? Starchip66, how we doing? Skywalker Academy, what is up? Fearless in the house. T-Love, what is up? Aaron, how we doing? Trent, what is up? Thick Hone, how we doing? Anakin Skywalker's in the chat. B-Man, what's up? Kit Fisto, how we doing? Mando United in the house. Mystic Troll, what is up? King Shadow, how we doing? Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi, the high ground, the limb slicer, what is up? All right, if I missed you, you know the deal. I'll just give you everybody a nice little
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay, so let's talk about Ahsoka Season 2, shall we? Let's start the way we usually do with a poll. Why not? If you haven't smashed a freaking like on this stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Smash a freaking like on this stream, please. Please. Okay, let's start this. Are you excited for Ahsoka? That's not how you spell Ahsoka. Ahsoka Season 2. Yes or no? Let's see it, chat. Are you excited for Ahsoka Season 2? Now, I'm hoping that this poll is 100% yes. I'm sure it won't be. There's some people that aren't a fan of Ahsoka Season 1. There's some fans that aren't fans of Ahsoka as a character herself. But I think it will be pretty close to 100, if not 100 itself. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Ahsoka Season 2? Tell me in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Ahsoka Season 2? Ahsoka Season 1's finale came out a year ago. Just about a year ago. And it was incredible. It's been a year since that first season aired. And the second season is not coming next year. At least we're pretty sure it's not coming next year. It's most likely going to be coming out in 2026. 2 years from now, meaning there's at least 3 years in between seasons, which is quite a long time. Usually when that's the case, it's not good news. Usually that means there's either production struggles or whatever it may be, but in this scenario, things might be very, very different. Very, very different. But tell me in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Ahsoka? 9 out of 10, 11 out of 10. My God. 10 out of 10, 1 million out of 10. Okay. Solid 8. Nice. Need more Ezra. Agree with that. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10. 10 bazillion trillion. That's not a number. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Okay. Ahsoka Season 2. Hell yeah. Space Whales, Ezra, Rebels crew, Thrawn, Shin Hati, Baylan Skoll, freaking Abeloth. We'll talk about Abeloth today too. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are they making Ahsoka Season 2? Yes. We'll be talking about it today as well. Okay. Let's start with this article, shall we? This came out yesterday, and it's pretty much confirming that Ahsoka will start production next year. So not this year. We do have a few more months left in this year of 2024. It's not over until December, just like every other year before it. But it will not go into production before the end of this year. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie is currently filming still. Honestly, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you, chat. I'm extremely disappointed in the lack of leaks when it comes to Mando and Grogu. I was hoping that the movie would at least give us some plot leaks or some casting leaks or some set photo leaks. Nothing. It is absolutely dead silent in the world of leaks when it comes to this Mandalorian and Grogu movie. The only thing we heard, which was confirmed by Lucasfilm themselves, so it isn't even a leak, is Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver. You know? That was the only thing. And that was confirmed by Lucasfilm themselves. So really, there's no leaks or set photos or anything like that from the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which we fully expected to get. A little bummed out. Okay. But let's read this article, shall we? Let's read this. Ahsoka Season 2 is reportedly going into production next year. The wait for Ahsoka Season 2 following an overall positive reception from Season 1, and honestly, guys, this is an impressive sentence for any Star Wars project. Even The Mandalorian Season 3, Kenobi, Andor, Acolyte, like this cannot be said about any of those shows. A overall positive reception for the season. It's reportedly set to continue into next year. Starring Rosario Dawson and Ahsoka Tano, Ahsoka was officially renewed for a second season alongside Star Wars announcement with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This was earlier this year, probably in January, maybe February. With Lucasfilm assuring audiences that the project was in development with creator Dave Filoni at the helm. So Dave Filoni, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the apprentice to George Lucas. He directed multiple episodes of the first season. He wrote every single episode of the first season, and he is that guy. Him and George Lucas created the character of Ahsoka Tano all those years ago. Actually, 18 years ago, something like that. Close to 18 years ago now. So, and now he's got to bring her to live action and be the guy who's in charge of this show. He's also in charge of Season 2. But after 10 months of no news, however, viewers have grown anxious about Ahsoka Season 2's status. As it turns out, production likely won't begin for this new installment until after 2024 has come to an end. Now, you might be sitting here going, Mike, why? Why do we have to wait so long to see Ahsoka Season 2? Now, the answer to that is Dave Filoni. He's a pretty damn busy guy, especially now that he's the chief creative officer over at Lucasfilm, meaning he oversees every project that's going on at Star Wars right now. He's not directing and writing every project, but he oversees every project. So Skeleton Crew, he's an executive producer. Andor Season 2, he'll probably be an executive producer on that, or at least a producer. Everything that comes out from here on out, he will be involved in. But he's an executive producer and helping out his partner in crime, Dave Filoni, on the set of The Mandalorian and Grogu right now. The most important thing to Star Wars fans, to Lucasfilm, to everybody, is the next installment in the Star Wars movie theaters, okay? Bringing Star Wars back to the big screen where it's always meant to be is the number one priority. Absolutely number one priority. And that's the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which we just talked about, is filming right now. And Dave Filoni's on the set, so he doesn't have time, or a lot of time, to be producing, writing, directing the Ahsoka show. So they have to wait until The Mandalorian and Grogu's filming has ended to start up with Ahsoka Season 2. So next year, where we talked about the Rey movie starting to film, we're also going to see the Ahsoka Season 2 start to film because, yes, Dave Filoni's the chief creative officer. He's going to be overseeing everything. He's going to be overseeing everything that's going on with the Rey movie. He's not going to be as hands-on with the Rey movie as he is with The Mandalorian and Grogu. He has been instrumental in bringing those two characters to the screen on Disney Plus for 3 seasons. Him and his partner in crime, Jon Favreau. So the two of them are now bringing them to the big screen, and they're working together to do so. So next year, while the Rey movie's filming, Ahsoka Season 2 will also be filming. And that's why it won't film this year. That is why. It's because Dave Filoni's a busy, busy man over with The Mandalorian and Grogu. Let's keep reading. In the roundup analytics of Disney's Star Wars content, The Hollywood Reporter has reported that sources say the new Ahsoka season will go into production next year. This isn't too surprising, considering that Dave Filoni and the rest of Ahsoka's creative team are currently working on the film of The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Didn't I just say that? Which began production back in July of this year, and still, it unfortunately set Ahsoka Season 2 back quite far. Considering the fact that Ahsoka Season 1 will likely be celebrating its 2-year anniversary around the time it will reportedly start filming Season 2. I don't know about that. I think they'll start filming a lot sooner next year, but we'll see. What does this mean for Season 2? Now we start to talk plot. We start to talk what's actually going on in this second season. This timeline for production on Ahsoka Season 2 means that Star Wars has truly dialed back its TV release slate, and it will likely be resetting itself quite soon. Ahsoka is one of only 3 live-action Star Wars shows left to be released, with Skeleton Crew, which comes out on December 3rd, less than 2 months away. Start the countdown. Skeleton Crew comes out in less than 2 months. But with Skeleton Crew coming out on December 3rd and Andor Season 2, which is expected to arrive in the early part of next year. If Ahsoka Season 2 isn't even entering production until 2025, then it probably won't release until 2026, which would more than likely be after the release of The Mandalorian and Grogu movie in theaters. So let's just take a look at what the release schedule looks like for future Star Wars projects, okay? In 2 months, less than 2 months, Skeleton Crew will release. Now, this is just live action projects. Skeleton Crew will release. 2025, Andor Season 2 is currently the only live action Star Wars content set to release. The only thing. So in 2025, we might see a Tales of the Jedi Season 2. We might see a Tales of the Empire Season 2. We might see a Tales of the Bounty Hunter, Tales of the Sith. Who knows? It's also possible we could be getting a new animated show. Possibly a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show, or a Hidden Path show with Asajj Ventress, or whatever. We could be getting a new animated show that will be multiple seasons. But for live action content, Andor Season 2 is the only thing. Fast forward to 2026, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will bring Star Wars back to the big screen on May 22nd of 2026. It does not look like Ahsoka Season 2 is going to release before then. So Ahsoka Season 2 will be affected by the events that happen in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That's the first thing. But secondly, it's going to release after, meaning July, probably August of 2026, which would be a similar spot of where the first one came out as well, which would kind of make sense. But you also have to remember that there's an untitled Star Wars film set to release in December of 2026. Most likely going to be the Rey movie. But Ahsoka has to come out before that. It can't go into December, and it probably won't even go into November so that they can hype up the Rey movie beforehand with the marketing and stuff. They don't want to overlap with Ahsoka. So it would most likely come out in July or August, run into September, maybe run into October, and then it would end, and they would be able to hype up the Rey movie. So for release schedule, 2025 right now seems pretty bare. All it is Andor Season 2. So all these live action projects, when we were getting 2, if not 3 a year, when we got Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, and Andor all in the same year, or Ahsoka in The Mandalorian Season 3 in the same year, or Mando Season 1 and Season 2 in the same year, like that's not happening anymore. We might be only getting 1 a year because the other live action project is now a movie. Whether that's good news or bad remains to be seen. Depends on how good the movie is, I guess. But for now, it seems like Disney is dialing it back to 1 show a year. So 2025's 1 show will be Andor Season 2, and 2026's will be Ahsoka Season 2. Okay. What could be happening here is that Star Wars is planning to relaunch its TV slate during the next Star Wars celebration, which is in Tokyo next spring. So in April of next year, in Japan, there is Star Wars Celebration. Ahsoka Season 2 could be a part of that new plan, hence why production on its next installment is being pushed back so far, with all the focus currently going into the next Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's very possible that the franchise is hoping to hit it big with this Mandalorian and Grogu movie to better balance its movie and its TV shows going forward, rather than favoring one over the other. For about a decade, we spent so much time waiting for Star Wars movies, the sequels, Rogue One, Solo, and now for the last 5-6 years, we've been just waiting for TV shows, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Andor, Acolyte, Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, and now Skeleton Crew. So they've been switching off. Only movies, only shows. Now they have to find a balance between both of those. But why is it taking Ahsoka so long to make? Well, we kind of talked about that. Given how close-knit Ahsoka is to the Mando-verse, it could be that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has to be made first in order for Ahsoka Season 2's story to be fully polished. If Ahsoka Season 2 is meant to take place after the movie in the Star Wars timeline, then it's reasonable to understand that Dave Filoni wouldn't want to get ahead of himself and accidentally create snags in the continuity. Sure. Of course, audiences won't truly know the reason for the delay until Ahsoka Season 2 is ready, though I'm optimistic that it will be worth the wait. So it seems like the Mandalorian and Grogu's events in that movie will affect Ahsoka Season 2, and that's why the Mando and Grogu movie has to come out first. And that's why Ahsoka Season 2 has been delayed so drastically. Not that it ever had a release date to be delayed from, but it does seem like waiting 2, if not 3 years in between seasons feels like a very long time. It is a very long time. But it also makes sense because Skeleton Crew, although it takes place in the Mando-verse, I don't think is going to play too much into what's going on with Ahsoka or Sabine or Huge Wang on Peridea. Like that doesn't really seem like it's going to connect. Maybe it will. It doesn't seem likely. So Ahsoka Season 1 would just go right into Ahsoka Season 2. Doesn't really make much sense. You would want to have a project in between, and that project will be the Mandalorian and Grogu, as Thrawn will become the heir to the Empire. So that's pretty much, when it comes to it, the Ahsoka news. The news being that it will start production next year. Now, it's not crazy, break the scales, like, oh my God, sound the alarms news, but it is important. Because it means the events of what's filming right now, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, will affect Ahsoka, will affect Hera Syndulla, Chopper, Ezra, the characters that exist in the Star Wars galaxy. And of course, we know from the trailer that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will feature Zeb Orrelios. So at least one member of the Skeleton Crew will be in the Mando movie. Now, with that being said, let's talk plot. Shall we? Now, when it comes to Ahsoka Season 1, which of course you guys know I love quite dearly, when it comes to Ahsoka Season 1, there's a lot of open-ended stories. Baylan Skoll, Shin Hati, Ahsoka, Sabine, Huge Wang being stranded on Peridea, possibly Abeloth, Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost, what that means, we'll be seeing more of Anakin. The World Between Worlds, we'll be seeing more of that. What's going on with Hera in the main Star Wars galaxy, will we be seeing any of that? A lot of questions still remain. Ahsoka Season 1 set us up for an incredible future. not just with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but with Ahsoka Season 2 as well. So with that being said, tell me in the chat, what do you think is going to happen in Ahsoka Season 2? Is Ahsoka going to make it back to the main Star Wars galaxy? Is it going to set up the next Mando-verse movie in a possible Mando trilogy? Is Abeloth going to show up? Is Baylan Skoll going to be recast? We'll talk about the recast in a second, but I'm looking at the poll, by the way. 93% of you. 93% of you say yes, you are excited for Ahsoka Season 2. These are the numbers we like to see. All right, let me read some chat, shall we? Dave says, Ahsoka is the best Star Wars character by far. Maybe in your personal opinion. Ahsoka's not my favorite character. As much as I love the Ahsoka series, and I love Ahsoka as a character, she's my number 2. Number 1 is Anakin. And I don't know if that's ever going to be like Ahsoka could go on to have a season 2, season 3, and it could be incredible. She could come into this Heir to the Empire trilogy, if it even exists, and play a big role in that. Maybe she even lives to see the Rey movie and gets to play a role in that. There's a possibility, very small, but very, very small possibility that Ahsoka could pass Anakin for my favorite character of all time. But for now, it's Anakin. Yeah. She Loves Fantasy, great name, says, watching The Acolyte when I saw your live stream notification. Awesome. Awesome. Love to see that. She is the daughter. I hope we get to see some of that storyline. Yeah. Here's the thing. Ahsoka Season 1 did such a good job of explaining what's going on with all of these characters that have these crazy backstories to fans who have never seen the show. Dave Filoni made this very clear, and so has Jon Favreau with The Mandalorian. You don't have to watch any other Star Wars project to understand what's going on in The Mandalorian or in Ahsoka. You don't have to know who Ahsoka is beforehand. You don't have to watch all 7 seasons of The Clone Wars, all 4 seasons of Rebels to understand who Sabine is when she's introduced, who Hera is. Would it help? Yes. Would it make you enjoy those characters so much more? Absolutely. But you don't have to. You can understand and follow the story even if you haven't seen those other projects. So being able to do that with the season 2, when you're introducing crazy new aspects like the Mortis gods, like Ahsoka being the daughter because her Force essence was transferred into Ahsoka's body to save her from dying, and explaining characters like Abeloth to the normie fans, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. A lot more difficult than Season 1 was to explain. In Season 1, introduced the world between worlds, brought back Anakin Skywalker, brought in a new freaking universe, a new galaxy into Star Wars, and yet this second season poses an even harder challenge ahead of Dave Filoni, and that is explaining Mortis gods, explaining the arc that Ahsoka went during the Clone Wars with the daughter and Anakin and Obi-Wan, possibly getting to see more flashbacks to the Clone. Imagine seeing a flashback to the Mortis God arc from the Clone Wars! That would be incredible. That would be absolutely insane. But there has to be a way to explain that to normie fans who have never seen Clone Wars. And Abeloth, being the crazy character that she is going to need like a whole 3-episode arc of explaining her backstory too. So there's a lot of explanation that needs to happen in Ahsoka Season 2 in order to introduce characters like Abeloth. But if there's anybody who could do it, it's Dave Filoni. So in Dave we trust. If I haven't said it once, I'll say it again. In Dave Filoni we trust. Okay. Sigourney Weaver, exactly. They obviously canceled the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Oh, obviously. No, they clearly haven't. It's filming right now. I have heard some people online trying to spit out the narrative that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie's been canceled. I don't know. If anybody's listening to those people, I feel bad for you. They're just straight up lying to you. And yeah, it's still filming probably right now. Another Mike who loves Star Wars. What's up, Mike? Says, when it comes to Mando, We had that shit on lockdown from the start. Who knew when it came to Luke? Not many. Oh, who knew that Luke was going to show up? Not many. Not surprised that they have made movies on a lockdown as well. Yeah, I mean, The Mandalorian is still their biggest show on Disney+. Since it launched 5 years ago, it's still their biggest show. So it's a no-brainer to bring those characters of Grogu and Din Djarin to the big screen. Actually, let's talk about this for a second. It's on topic, but not as on topic, you know? Let's talk about this. So there was this report. There's this report about merchandise sales over the last year for Star Wars. Oh, what? Oh, okay. There we go. This is what Star Wars made over the last year in just merchandising. Let's read this. Staggering value of Star Wars merchandise reveals in new report, proving the franchise's value to Disney. This is fully on topic from what we're talking about with Grogu. A staggering new report reveals just how valuable Star Wars merchandise is for Disney. 14 years ago, Disney bought Star Wars. Wait, what? 12 years ago. This is wrong. 12 years ago, Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas for $4.05 billion. 4.05 billion with a B. Since then, the House of Mouse has released a constant stream of new content, ranging from movies to TV shows, animated live action, comics, books, all that stuff. The Disney era has been incredibly controversial, though, and as a result, there's intense discussion over whether it's been a profit and whether Disney could have handled things better. The Hollywood Reporter has published a new assessment of the franchise under Disney. While most of the account will be very, very familiar to readers, slipped in a fascinating detail. According to sources, Star Wars merch generated $1 billion for the company in the last year. So over the last year for Disney, from 2023 to 2024, it generated $1 billion in merchandising. Now, what is merchandising? It's toys, it's action figures, it's lightsabers, it's helmets, it's all the stuff that Disney sells that's Star Wars. It's stuffed animals, it's all that, it's everything. Probably mostly lightsabers because they sell a ton of lightsabers and they're pretty expensive. But they sell Grogu toys all over the place, from a keychain to a stuffed animal to a pillowcase, whatever. Grogu is a money-making machine. So obviously bringing him to the big screen is a no-brainer. This Mandalorian and Grogu movie, depending on how good it is, has the chance to make billions. And I'm not just talking like $1 billion. I'm talking $2, $3 billion. There's only a few movies in history that have even cracked that 2 billion mark. I believe there's only maybe 6 or 7. Somebody fact check me in the chat. How many movies have made over $2 billion? I believe it's only 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. I think the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has the possibility to do that. It has its fans from Disney Plus, has its normie fans, its hardcore fans. Everybody loves that show. Now you bring it to an even broader audience, the movie theater going audience, that will fall even more in love with Grogu, with Din Djarin, with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and hopefully set up a trilogy in that Mando-verse. But I guess that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. Yeah, it could be a lot. $1 billion is a shit ton. Oh, Legos too. Yes, of course, Legos. Legos is something they make a ton of money off because Legos are pretty damn expensive. Yeah, Legos are something too. Let's keep reading. It's rare to get figures estimating the merchandise value of Star Wars. So this report is an exciting indicator on just how valuable the franchise is for Disney. And of course, it's this guy right here, and that guy. Oh, and this guy. Oh wait, and that guy too. Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy right there. See that little baby right there? Yeah, him. Yeah, him too. Okay, him. Yep, that guy too. Oh, look at the little baby. Yeah, see, this guy sells stuff. Look down right now. He's on your shirt. I can almost guarantee. it. Usually he's on my shirt. He's not today, but look down. He's on your shirt. He's somewhere in the room with you right now. I can almost guarantee it. He's somewhere in the room with you right now. He's right here. See? He's right there. He's probably a million other places too, but he's everywhere. Most attention is usually fixed on a Star Wars box office, or the Nielsen numbers, which is the TV ratings and stuff with Disney Plus shows and just their numbers per week. But most big franchises really make their money through merchandise and distribution, although distribution is less of a factor for recent shows given their primary streaming to is Disney Plus. So distribution is more like CD sales or DVD sales and distributing the movie to other platforms. Now with streaming, it's usually just on the streaming platform. That's especially true of Star Wars, where merch made George Lucas rich. Lucas negotiated control of licensing and merchandising rights before the first film released, and he never regretted it. So when Star Wars first released, A New Hope, that is, all the way back in 1977, George Lucas was a genius, and he didn't really know it. He knew it, but he didn't. He kept the merchandising and licensing rights to Star Wars. So even though he didn't know that Star Wars was going to be this massive success, he thought it could have been. And when it comes to sci-fi especially, the toy sales, the action figure sales, the stuffed animals, like the merchandise, that's where you make all the money. And George Lucas knew that. And Star Wars in particular, you have other companies like maybe Pokemon or... See, like with Marvel, it's not, you can sell action figures and stuff, but there's no lightsaber. There's no Grogu that everybody wants to buy. So when you look at like Pokemon or Star Wars, which makes most of their money off of merchandising, it's freaking genius. It's freaking genius. Okay. Disney's decision to hold off on Baby Yoda, Baby Grogu, merchandising back in 2019 was a costly one. There were reports that Disney lost $2.7 million worth of sales by Christmas of 2019. So this was something that happened because of the surprise of Grogu. Grogu was a surprise to all audiences in November of 2019. When did The Mandalorian Season 1 release, chat? Was it November of 2019 or December? I think November, but I could be wrong. But in November of 2019, The Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 1 dropped, and Grogu was revealed to audiences. Little did they know Grogu was going to be this massive success and massive hit, and fans were going to fall in love with the little baby. They weren't ready. So when Christmas 2019 rolled around just a month and a half later, they weren't ready to sell all these Grogu toys, which kids were in love with. So they lost an estimated $2.7 million because they weren't ready. Crazy. Yeah, November? Okay, cool. It was November. That said, Disney has more than made up for the lost time, and Grogu's merchandising is now widely available. Almost every Disney Plus show has a cute character creating in a similar mode as a potential hit, ranging from young Leia's delightful Lola droid in Kenobi to the tracker Basil in The Acolyte. Did they really think they were going to sell a lot of Basil toys? I think they were going for Chimere in that one. But Disney has clearly determined not to miss any more Star Wars opportunities when it comes to merchandising. Let's think about that. The Book of Boba Fett, did they have any merchandise? No, not really. Andor? No, not really. So I guess it's just Kenobi, Mando, Acolyte. Yeah. Ahsoka? Did Ahsoka have any little, no, guess not. Okay. Star Wars merch proves that the franchise is still going strong. Star Wars has always been controversial, to say the least. And the fandom right now is pretty broken and disillusionment in the wake of the Acolyte's backlash and cancellation. But these merchandising figures are a reminder that Star Wars is still a big deal and always will be. It's tremendously popular. There's a wide range of merchandising out there for all different types of projects, whether you like The Mandalorian or not, whether you like The Acolyte or not, whether you like the sequels or not, the prequels or not, the original trilogy or not. There's an insane amount of merchandising for all different aspects of the Star Wars galaxy. And Disney is always seeking out new opportunities. It's true that sales in 2024 have likely been lower, but that's related to less releases of new content than anything else. So the $1 billion in the last year might actually be down from the years previous. Like in 2019, 2020, 2021, when Grogu was at his peak, when season 1, season 2, and season 3 were coming out, that's probably when they sold the most amount of merchandising. They were probably making upwards of $2 billion a year on merchandising. This year is a slower year because there's less content, only The Acolyte being the live action show so far. So it's probably less than usual. It's impossible to make any true assessment of Disney Star Wars without recognizing the value of merchandise. While this is only one report, it is far from the exact figure, and it is nonetheless believable. And it offers hope that for Star Wars' future. Grogu, formerly Baby Yoda, is a key to this. Now co-star of the new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, the opportunities for Star Wars are vast. That is the understatement of the day. With all these different branches reaching off the Star Wars timeline, from the Mandalorian and Grogu movie to the Rey movie to Dawn of the Jedi, there's insane possibilities when it comes to Star Wars releases. When you introduce new galaxies in Ahsoka, when you possibly introduce the Mortis gods in Abeloth and Ahsoka, like you're introducing so many new cool things in Star Wars that not only lead to merchandising, but lead to more fans being more intrigued and different opportunities for different fans to come on board. Some fans might not like the Rey movie. Some fans might not like the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Some fans might not like the Dawn of the Jedi movie. But there's sort of stuff for everybody, because some fans might like it all. That would be me. Okay, but let's get back to the topic at hand, and that is Ahsoka. So yes, Ahsoka doesn't really have that Grogu draw. They did have the Naughty in season 1, which were the Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guys, which were pretty cute, but I don't think they were selling much Naughty merchandise. You have lightsabers with characters like Ezra and Ahsoka that they probably sell a shit ton of. Ahsoka Tano's lightsabers, I'm sure, are some of the top selling ones at the parks and just online in general. But the characters of the Ghost Crew and Chopper, I mean, he's right behind me. Chopper is that guy when it comes to Star Wars Rebels. Everybody loves him. He's a crazy terrorist. But he's sort of that cute Grogu type figure for the Rebels crew. So maybe that's where it comes from, you know? Okay. Pedro Pascal is booked and busy. He's Reed Richards now too. That's true. But he's still going to be Din Djarin, at least until Din Djarin dies. I still wouldn't be that surprised. I know it was a bold prediction a few weeks ago, but I wouldn't be that surprised if Din Djarin dies in his own movie. I just wouldn't. Honestly, I'd sit here and I go, I told you so. But it wouldn't be that surprising. Pedro Pascal's a busy dude. He's not really even on the set of this movie right now because he's doing Fantastic Four. So it wouldn't be that crazy. No. Yeah. Lucasfilm a few days ago said that they didn't want to make the Mando movie, but season 3's lower ratings and Acolyte lower ratings made them change their mind and cancel Mando season 4. Well, Mando season 4 wasn't canceled, first of all, because it was never announced, but it was more so morphed into this Mando movie. The Mandalorian season 4, the scripts for Mando season 4 existed. Jon Favreau's confirmed that himself, but it just got morphed into the movie. Like, Mando season 4 doesn't still exist. It's now the movie, you know? Mike always thinks somebody's going to die. You know what? Because maybe he is. You know? Maybe he is. Yeah. I watched a movie with a very young Rosario Dawson and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Rosario was so young. Well, don't just leave us on a cliffhanger there. What the hell was the movie, Fearless? Jeez. Anthony, what's up? Anthony says, Mike, in all honesty, there's most likely not going to be a Rey movie. The premise makes no sense, given the reception of the sequel trilogy, and the script isn't done at all. Well, here's what I'll say. I think I'm probably 99.99999% sure that the Rey movie will happen. And I'm probably 80% sure it will happen on December 17th, 18th of 2026. So I'm very, very confident in that still happening, still existing, all that stuff. There's a difference between announcing a movie with James Mangold for the Dawn of the Jedi, announcing a movie for Dave Filoni's Mando-verse crossover event. There's a difference between that and bringing Daisy Ridley out on stage, telling her that she's coming back, having her go to press and talk about a new Star Wars movie. There's a big difference. So I'm almost 100% certain that movie will happen. Whether the script is done yet or not doesn't matter. It's still going to happen one way or another. And the premise doesn't making no sense. I mean, you have to move past the sequel trilogy at some point. We have to get to a point where we're moving beyond the Skywalker saga. And if that's Rey's New Jedi Order movie or Rey's New Jedi Order or not, then we have to move on at some point. So there has to be something that's post-sequel trilogy that will lead us into the unknown, the endless possibilities of the future of the Star Wars galaxy, what the government looks like, who's controlling the galaxy at the time. Is there a new Republic? Is there a new Republic? Is there a second order? Is there an Empire times 2? Is there a Sith around? Or is Palpatine really gone for good? Is the new Jedi Order going to look like the old Jedi Order? There's so much possibility in the future. Is Grogu going to be involved? What does the Mandalorian world look like? There's a lot. Yeah. So you have to move past the sequels. You gots to. You know? Darth Drafter's in the chat. What's up, Darth Drafter? It's been a while. How we doing? Okay. Mark says, I thought season 1 relied a little too much on fan service. Other than that, it was pretty average. I hope season 2 is a big improvement. Without just saying I couldn't disagree with you more, let's talk about that. Season 1 relied too much on fan service. Well, the only fan service was Anakin and the Clone Wars stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously, that is very fan servicey. So was Luke showing up in The Mandalorian Season 2. But both scenarios there are very important to that story. Grogu goes to call out for help from a Jedi. Luke Skywalker's that Jedi. He comes in, saves the day, badass as ever, as he should be. He's Luke freaking Skywalker. And it shows that Luke is still sort of the head guy of the galaxy, going around slicing people up. In Ahsoka's scenario, Ahsoka is not... She's still hurting from what happened with her master. The last time we saw Ahsoka, she sees her master in that he's still alive and what he became. She actually passes out from the realization that her master, the guy that she was apprenticed to for all those years in the Clone Wars, is the most evil being in the galaxy. She passes out from that realization when she first finds out in Rebels. And then she fights him, loses, gets pulled into the world between worlds, and it seems like she's not the same ever since because she realizes that her master was so evil, and maybe that evilness is in her as well. So she needs that last lesson from Anakin. Also, she needed to lose to Baylan so that Baylan and Shin could win and get off planet and go to Peridia. So again, it's fan service, yes. I do not disagree with you. All that stuff is fan service from Luke and Anakin, all of it. But it's also very important to the story. So fan service is a thing that's thrown around as a bad thing. It's always bad to have fan service. But it's not. It's not a bad thing at all. It's actually a great thing, especially if done correctly. Now, there's bad fan service, but we don't really see much of that in Star Wars specifically. But there is bad fan service. But usually, when it comes to Star Wars, it's for the story and for the story. You could say the same thing about just seeing any character from the original trilogy in the prequel trilogy as well. Yeah. Anyone see the new Joker movie this weekend? I did not. I have not heard good things. I really have not. But tell me in the chat, have you seen the new Joker movie? I didn't see it. Hi, Haja, what's up? Ready for Skeleton Crew? Oh, I'm so ready for Skeleton Crew. Are we going to be getting a Visions Season 3? That's a good question. I think we probably will, just because fans seem to like Season 1 and Season 2. And I'm not a big fan, as I've said multiple times, but let me bring this up. Star Wars Visions. This is pretty crazy. We learned this last stream, actually. Star Wars Visions on Rotten Tomatoes is tied for the highest rated Star Wars show ever, with Star Wars Rebels, actually. And they both have a 98%. So, yes, the audience score is 64, which is not that high, but 98 is absolutely insane. And there's a lot of diehard fans when it comes to Star Wars Visions. Give me a 1 into the chat if you want to see a Star Wars Visions Season 3. Give me a 2 if you say nah. Give me a 3 if you're in between. But a lot of fans do enjoy the first 2 seasons of the show. There's certain aspects, certain episodes I enjoy in the first 2 seasons. In particular, the Ronin episode. And it just so happens that that's the first of the first season. But it's very highly rated. A lot of fans really enjoy it. It's going to different studios across the world and giving them the chance to create Star Wars stories. So I would guess that, yeah, there'll be a 3rd season of this show. I don't know if it'll be good or not. I don't know if it'll be great. But if I were to guess, if I were a gambling man, I would probably say yes. This is likely to get a 3rd season. Just because of the critic reception and sort of the audience reception of the first 2 seasons. But right now, no confirmation yet from Lucasfilm. No. That will probably be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year. Yeah. Ian says, less is more. Okay, let's talk about that. Do you guys feel like over the last couple of years, maybe let's say 4 years, so from 2020 to now, do you feel like we've gotten too much Star Wars content? We've gotten a lot of shows. Mando Season 1, 2, 3, Andor, Kenobi, Ahsoka, Acolyte, Book of Boba Fett. That's 8 live-action seasons. Not to mention Bad Batch Season 1, Bad Batch Season 2, Bad Batch Season 3. Now you're at 11. Vision Season 1, Vision Season 2, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. Now you're at 15. 15 projects in 5 years. 4 years, actually. 15 Star Wars projects in 4 years. Is it too much? I agree with you all in the chat. No, absolutely not. And it doesn't feel like we're being bombarded by too much content. Ever. Actually, in these time periods, since the Acolyte ended to when Skeleton Crew begins, it feels like we're at a loss for Star Wars content. It feels like it should be a constant stream. It is a constant stream, but even in these dull moments, it seems like there should be more of a constant stream. So I completely agree. I don't think there's not enough. However, what Ian is saying here still makes sense, and I still agree with. Less is more. And you see this issue happening with Marvel. And the reason it's happening with Marvel and not with Star Wars is because of the movie theaters. Over the last 4 years, Star Wars hasn't had a movie. So in 2026, there'll be 2 Star Wars movies. Now, if you stay on that same track and add a movie or 2 a year, then it may feel like too much. If you're getting 2 live action shows, 2 movies, an animated show, an animated short, all that stuff in 1 year, it might actually feel like too much. So when the movies start to come out, the live action content on Disney Plus is going to slow down. And that'll sort of be when it balances out, you know? Yeah. Japan, woo, here we come. Is anybody, give me a 1 into the chat if you're going to Star Wars Celebration in Japan. Yeah? Anybody in the chat? I know a few of you are, but yeah. I know a few of you are. Another Mike who loves Star Wars says, I think the lack of TV projects in 2025 will help Andor get more views. Makes the talk primarily about that show and no others. Yeah, I think it will definitely help Andor. But Andor Season 1 has such low numbers. Now, you could say that's because of the marketing for the show or this, that, or the other. But I do believe that Season 2 will get more views. Whether that's because of the story itself, bringing back characters, recognizable faces like a Saw Gerrera or a Krennic or maybe some others, I think it will get more views. But maybe that is also the case because there's no other live-action Star Wars show coming out next year. All attention will be focused on Andor. All marketing for the year will be focused on Andor. That's a possibility, for sure. It's not a bad plan either, if you ask me. What the heck's going on here? I just broke this. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Skeleton Crew, I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch Skeleton Crew either. The closer and closer we get, the more and more excited I get for Skeleton Crew. I'm hoping we're going to be getting a new trailer for it within the next couple weeks. That would be fan-freaking-tastic. Maybe next week, actually. I don't know. We're already in October. We're 2 months away. It seems like now is when the push for advertising is going to begin. So a new trailer for Skeleton Crew could be happening any day now. Yeah. I just want at least one Star Wars show per year. That would be nice. And a multiple season animated show as well per year. Yeah, I agree with that. One animated show, one live action show, and a movie sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. And when you look over at Marvel, the problem was too many projects. They were having 2-3 live action shows a year with 2-3 movies a year. That's just too much. And with the multiverse, you have all these different stories going different ways. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So Star Wars can't be put into that same place. They can learn from the mistakes of Marvel. That would be nice. That would be nice. Huge Wang's my favorite character. He's not a bad character. He's not a bad character. Yeah. Oh, I just go down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right, where was I? Mike, Fifth Element. Oh, my. Sad to see the last episode of Rings of Power. Oh, okay. No spoilers there. But, yes, I haven't watched it yet. I know. I've been a busy guy. I mean, I did just run in the house right before this stream started. I've been quite the busy guy. I have not been able to watch that finale for Rings of Power Season 2 yet. And I might not be able to watch it tonight either because I've got to make my what if video for tomorrow. I mean, the script is already done and I've already recorded some stuff, but that what if for tomorrow is going to be incredible, by the way. Watch out for that coming at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It's what if Padme didn't die of sadness. It's incredible, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's got Ahsoka. It's got Inquisitors. It's got everything. So don't miss out on that. But yeah. Oh, Darth Drafter. I knew we missed you for a reason. Just kidding. With a very generous $10 holla. I appreciate that. Says, on another note, how many Funkos do you got? I've got sort of an unhealthy obsession with them. LOL. Well, how many do I have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I'd guess around 30. Just spitballing. I'm not too sure. Probably between 30 and 40, if I were to guess. There was a time where I'd buy a lot of them. People would give me them as gifts, stuff like that. But that's kind of slowed down. I got the perfect sort of pyramids going on behind me on either side. There's some off screen, but yeah, quite a bit. Yeah. Lego is expensive too. Yeah, Lego is very expensive. I actually have a few Lego sets over there that I haven't built yet. I've got them for presents as well, for Christmas and for my birthday and stuff like that. I got an X-Wing. I got a 40th anniversary from Return of the Jedi. I got Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. I got a few that are actually pretty cool that I got to build soon. Yeah. But I appreciate it, Darth Drafter. I really, really do. $10 holla. Very, very generous. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. If you are not yet a member, go join the people who love Star Wars at the lowest tier, 99 cents, or the other 2 tiers. But you get instant access to giveaways. We have a giveaway every month at the end of every month. And, of course, you get instant access to the members-only portion of the Discord. If you are not yet in the Discord, there's a Discord in the description below called The People Who Love Star Wars. It's completely free. I always forget to mention these things when I have live streams. So people are like, what Discord, Mike? And I'm like, I mentioned it in the live stream. They're like, no, you didn't. I was like, damn it. You're right. I didn't. So I always forget to mention that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Sonny with a very generous $5 holla says, at LA Comic-Con, $200 for Ewan McGregor's autograph? That's a little too expensive for me. $200 for his autograph? That's crazy. Yeah, so the reason that those things are so expensive is, one, they got to pay Ewan, of course, but they got to also, like, a portion of that goes to the convention itself. So it's kind of a combination of all those different things, and it ends up being $200 to get the autograph of Ewan McGregor. But that's pretty cool. Did you get to at least see him speak or something? Because they usually have panels at that stuff. Is that this weekend, LA Comic-Con? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are feeling extra generous right now. Another Mike who loves Star Wars with a $5 holla says, could you discuss the crazy list of legacy characters who could appear in Andor Season 2? Everyone related to the original trilogy and Rebels is accessible. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the $5 holla as well. So when it comes to Andor Season 2, it spans over the 5 years before the original trilogy. So all those characters that you know and love, from the Rebels crew to Krennic, of course, who we know is going to be in there, Vader, Tarkin, originul trilogy characters, like all those people can appear in that show. Crazier ones like Cal Kestis, Asajj Ventress, like those are possible ones. I would say very, 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 very low possibility, but they are possible as well. For me, I think the most likely ones, of course, Krennic. We know for a fact he'll be in it, but Krennic, Vader would be nice. Palpatine would be fantastic because Mon Mothma is in the Senate. Seeing him come up in the Senate would be cool. Bail Organa is probably a definite yes. Who else? K2SO, we know for a fact, is going to be in there. Maybe some Rogue One characters. Galen Erso or Jyn Erso herself. Harrison Dula. Harrison Dula is one for me. Chopper would be great. But we're going back to Yavin 4. Yavin 4 is confirmed to be in Andor Season 2, which is really cool. So Yavin 4 is going to be on Andor Season 2, in Andor Season 2. And where there's Yavin, there's the Rebellion. And where there's the Rebellion, there's Harrison Dula and Chopper and the Ghost. Now, this might take place after the events of Rebels, where we actually get to, like, Thrawn will be gone, Ezra will be gone, Kanan will be dead, Zeb will be off with his people, Sabine will be off training with Ahsoka probably. So it will just be Hera and Chopper. But yeah, absolutely. There's so many endless possibilities for legacy characters that could show up in Andor Season 2. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God, Sonny with another generous $5 holla says, Mike, the line for Hayden's autograph is so long, I can't see him, but I'm on the hunt for MJ Fox, Michael J Fox? Michael J Fox is there? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got my picture taken with Hayden. Boom, look at this. That was about a year and a half ago now, or yeah. No, a year ago. A year and a few months ago. I got that with him in the line to get a picture with Hayden. I feel bad for them, honestly. These actors and actresses are taking thousands of pictures every day. The fact that he's still smiling in this photo must hurt his face. We took a photo with him probably around 3 p.m. That means from like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., he's just been going like this. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, very nice to meet you. Oh, you love Star Wars? That's great. And obviously, it would get really annoying after a while, but that's just the reality of it. He's taking pictures for 7 hours a day. Literally 7 hours a day. So, yeah, that's a bummer. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. Okay. Where was I? Hal Runner Base, what's up, says, I hope they got a good plan for merch drops for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I miss big movie events with corresponding merch releases. Yeah, I hope they really do. I think they will. When you look at, like, even when they re-release these Star Wars movies into theaters, you look at like this year was The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace. I went to go see The Phantom Menace, and I got this awesome, cool R2-D2 popcorn bucket where his head can be filled with liquid and his body can be filled with popcorn. Like cool stuff like that. Hopefully, will be available when The Mandalorian and Grogu comes out as well. Yeah. Mike, what did you ask Hayden? What did I ask Hayden? I don't think I asked him anything. I think I just I got to shake his hand. I said I don't really remember what I said to him, but I remember he said to me, "May the Force be with you," and that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, that was unbelievably cool. Absolutely. Chris Reed with a very generous $5 holla, 20th ever super chat. Thank you, Chris. Says live action remakes of Clone Wars and Rebels, Kenobi Season 2, and an original trilogy reboot. Well, I appreciate the super chat. Reboot, absolutely not. I do not want them to reboot the original trilogy. I know you do, Chris. I know you're very vocal about that, but I just don't want it to happen. Those movies are still good. They still hold up to today. I understand with the CGI that is today, it could be better, but no. Those movies are ingrained in the Star Wars zeitgeist. They can't be broken. They can't be remade. This isn't Harry Potter. This isn't, which I also think is a horrible idea, recreating those movies this early on. Terrible. This isn't, I don't know what other franchise gets remade. I have no idea. But no, absolutely not. Kenobi Season 2, on the other hand, if there's a good enough story, then absolutely. Live action remakes of of Clone Wars and Rebels, no. But unfinished Clone Wars arcs, yes. Flashbacks to the Clone Wars or Rebels in live action, yes. So there's sort of an in-between on that thing. But I appreciate it, Chris. I really, really do. Yeah. Dawn of the Jedi? No, Dawn of the Jedi. Hey, Mike is talking death. Good times. I love how that's become a thing. Have I really talked about characters dying that much? Good. Because they will die. You know what? I may have been wrong a few times. The Bad Batch, I thought they were all going to die. And just Crosshair gets his arm chopped off. That's about it. But I've been right. I've been right sometimes. I've been right. Jekki, Yord, neck snapped. All the other Jedi there in that forest, they all had to die. I predicted that. I'm right about the death sometimes, chat. Yeah. Spoilers? Oh, sorry. Jekki and Yord don't die. Spoilers. Came out months ago. It came out months ago. Alex, what's up? Just a little late. Just got home from a walk. Nice. Took my tiger out for a walk. What are the chances that's not a joke and Alex actually owns a pet tiger? Like 10%? Chat? What are the chances he actually owns a pet tiger? Alex, are you still here? I have to know. Okay. Yeah. This convo is all over the place and it's my fault. Yeah, it's your fault, but we're always all over the place. Dominic, what's up? How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, absolutely. Aaron says, it's hard to call it fan service when the story is literally a continuation of Rebels. It's completely relying on the outside source material. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, fan service in Star Wars is such a hard thing to come by because usually it's just something that happens in the story. It's something that needs to happen. It's like Vader showing up in Rogue One or Vader showing up in Kenobi, I guess. It's just something that needs to happen to tell the story. So fan service is really hard to come by when you look at Star Wars in general. It can happen. It does happen, but it's not like something that's negatively happening, you know? What's my favorite Star Wars character? Anakin. Top 3, Anakin, Ahsoka, Maul, in that order. Write it down. Hasn't changed in years. However, it might change. It's hard for Maul's to change because really you're not getting much more Maul story. His story's been pretty filled out over the years. He's, of course, died. But Ahsoka's still alive. Anakin can even get more story told. Maybe there's a new character that comes in and takes that third spot from Maul. I don't know. Takes the second spot from Ahsoka. Takes the one spot. That's probably unlikely. But yeah, those are my top 3 and have been for quite some time. Yeah. I thought Anakin was so cool in The World Between Worlds, a whole mix of emotions. It is very cool because The World Between Worlds gives you the option to do something like that. Now, The World Between Worlds, many people are confused by. It's not a time travel device. It's not something you can use to go back or actually, it's not a traveling device. Like, you can't go into The World Between Worlds and then end up in Peridia. That's just not something that can happen. But it is a conduit between the living and the dead. So Anakin, being dead, is able to teach Ahsoka another lesson and actually save her from dying through The World Between Worlds. Yeah. Selena, what's up? What is up? What else? What is everybody else's favorite Star Wars character? Great top 3. Mine are Luke, Anakin, and Qui-Gon. That's a solid top 3 too. That's solid. Sounds like you like the good guys. Sounds like you like the good guys. JD, what's up, Jay? Says, the Morai that appeared in to Ahsoka in Rebels does really well in merchandise for that series. Really? Morai does? I mean, I guess. Morai is in Ahsoka Season 1, too. And kind of explains that there'll be more about that Mortis God stuff in the future. Yeah. There is bad fan service. Eric says, the last Alien Romulus movie, get away from her. You didn't watch it. I don't know what that refers to. I didn't watch it. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure there is bad fan service all over the place. Yeah. In other franchises. Yeah. Have you seen the Rings of Power finale yet? No. No, I have not. Okay? I haven't watched it. I'm going to try, though. Maybe tonight. If not tonight, then tomorrow. Yeah. Not going to see Joker 2. However, I saw the Transformers movie, and I loved it. I actually have heard some pretty good things about Transformers 1. It's called Transformers 1. Not to confuse everybody. It's not the first Transformers movie. It's called Transformers 1. Okay? Okay. But yeah. Vision's never seen it. That's not uncommon. There's actually a lot of Star Wars fans that haven't seen it. Yeah. Lee says, Mike, I think you've messed up with your what if videos. Did Leia actually escape Vader at the beginning, LOL? What? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Okay. I don't understand. Positive review bombing, LOL? Well, no, because it was still at a 64 on Rotten Tomatoes for audience score. Yeah. Aaron says, I'll never complain about getting too much material, but I also think cutting back will be a good move in the short term. Yeah. If you're getting really bad material over and over again, then that's bad. That's really, really bad. You don't want that. If we had that stretch of The Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2, Clone Wars Season 7, Bad Batch Season 1, Boba Fett, like if all those shows sucked, then yeah, slow down. Make a good project for once. But no, that's not the case. These are really, really solid projects. Some better than others. Mando Season 2 better than Mando Season 3. Ahsoka better than Acolyte. Ahsoka better than Kenobi, whatever you want to say. That's all opinionated, of course. But if they were bad, I'd say slow down. They're not. So let's keep it going. Let's keep the party moving. Yeah. Animation is good. Animation is great. And I'm hoping we get to see more. I don't know what the next animated show will be, but I'm hoping we get to see more. All right, let's talk some more Ahsoka, shall we? Let's talk Baylan Skoll. Shall we? Baylan Skoll, of course, played by Ray Stevenson, who sadly passed away right before Ahsoka came out, a few months before it came out. He gave one of the most incredible performances in Star Wars history, introducing one of the coolest new characters into Star Wars with Baylan Skoll. Of course, he's sadly passed away. So what is our options here? What are our options here? You can either recast the character, keep him going, keep him thriving with a different actor, continuing Rey's legacy while also respecting it, or you can deepfake the character. Actually, I guess this is a third option, and that is kill off the character. But in this scenario, I think a recast is the perfect. This is the perfect situation for it. He was only in one season. There's a lot of actors in Hollywood that just happen to look like Ray Stevenson somehow, some way, from Liev Schreiber to Gerard Butler to other people. But what do you think, Chad? Should he be recast? And if so, who should recast him? Recast as a tribute? Yeah, whoever the actor that comes in after him will, of course, pay tribute to his performance. He's taking from that incredible performance and trying to continue it to the best of their ability. Continue the character, that is. Now, you could go down the route of making him look disfigured when he does go to possibly free Abeloth, like we think he was going to at the end of Ahsoka season 1. If he is going to free Abeloth, maybe Abeloth makes him look disfigured by maybe, I don't know, trying to kill him or something. I don't know. Maybe he has to wear a mask from now on, or he has his face gets disfigured. I don't know. There's some way around it for sure. But it seems like, for the majority of you in the chat right now, you do say recast him. But the question becomes, who? I see Liev Schreiber, of course. Liev. Is it Liev or Lev? Lev? Sure. Yeah. Sean Bean? I don't know who that is. Let's look him up. Sean Bean. Oh, the guy from Lord of the Rings. Ooh, he hasn't really been in much lately, has he? He would make a great Baylan Skoll. This guy right here, that's a great one. This is what he kind of looks like now, I'm guessing, right? Oh my God, that's like perfect. Yeah, he's the guy from Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. He would be a great one. That's a great one. Then, of course, you got like Liev. Whoops, that's Leia. Liev. Well, I don't know why I just instinctively just wrote Leia. Liev Schreiber, of course. I mean, come on. He looks exactly like him. Actually, let's go like this. As Baylan Skoll. Some people have like put his face on Baylan. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it looks exactly like him. Look at this. This is creepy. Creepily close. It's crazy. So, Liev is definitely a good option. I know Gerard Butler's a good one. Let's look him up. Gerard Butler. This guy from the 300. He would be a great one. You just dye his hair white or grayish. He'd be a great one. Who else? Who else? Who is the hang on, I know I'm missing one big one. Gerard Butler, yes. Boromir from Lord of the Rings. Who? Boromir, Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's what his character's name was. Duh. Okay, no. I'm missing a big actor. Who is it? Nick Offerman. I have heard Nick Offerman lately. He has been a pretty good one. Lloyd Owen. Let's look him up. Lloyd Owen. That's not horrible. This guy from Rings of Power. That's not terrible. I think the other ones probably look better, but yeah, it's not horrible. Who's the big actor? I can't think of his name right now. Tom Cruise? Yeah, no, not Tom Cruise. No. What the hell's his name? Big actor. Huge. One of the biggest of all time. I can't think of his name. I literally just can't think of his name. He was in Thor. He was in Thor Love and Thunder. He's a lot older now. Looks like Ray Stevenson. Come on, chat. You know what I'm talking about. Triple H one. The Rock? You guys are losing your minds. You think The Rock looks like Ray Stevenson? Anthony Hopkins? Chris Hemsworth? No! He's not Thor himself. He was in Thor. Come on, chat. Oh, this is killing me. I'm looking up Thorcast. Thor, Love, and Thunder cast. Russell Crowe, thank you. Oh my God. Okay, Russell Crowe. There we go. Russell Crowe. Jeez, chat. Jeez. Russell Crowe. Yes, there you go. He could also work very, very well. All right, so you got a bunch of options for a possible Ray Stevenson, Baylan Skoll recast. But let's put up a poll, because this poll is not changing. Too big of a name. Yeah, it might be. That might be the problem there. Might be too big of a name. But this poll just ended. 93% of you are excited for Ahsoka Season 2, which is fan-freaking-tastic, with almost 100 votes on that poll. But let's start up a new one. Let's start up a new one. All right. Do you want Baylan Skoll to be recast? Yes or no? Let's see it, chat. Do you want him to be recast? Yes or no? Ian says, Shin Hati is the most Mara Jade character we've had so far. There has been a lot of rumors of that. Is Shin Hati just the canon version of Mara Jade? Well, Mara Jade was once worked for the Empire as the Empire's hand. Then she falls in love with Luke Skywalker. So is Shin Hati close to that? No. But she does have the sort of feel of Mara Jade in canon. However, I think there's still opportunity to introduce a true Mara Jade character with the name Mara Jade, the red hair, all that stuff into Star Wars. Have her fall in love with Luke Skywalker. All that can still happen before the sequel trilogy. And she could even die or survive. And Luke maybe thinks she's dead. I don't know. Somebody actually in the Discord? Why does that sound wrong? Discord pointed out that Luke Skywalker looks like he's standing in front of a let me try and find this. Standing in front of a... Yes, this. Let's take a look at this. Somebody found this. Standing in front of a tombstone. It could just be a rock sitting up like that, but it seems to be propped up, and there's no other rocks really around that are like that. Could this be a tombstone of Mara Jade? That would be pretty damn cool. That would be pretty damn cool. But that's just a crazy fan theory, of course. But there is room for Mara Jade. Shin Hati, on the other hand, could become sort of just Abeloth's body. Yeah. She's got the creepy look. She's got the creepy hair. The all-white hair. She's got the creepy no blinking going on. She has the look of Abeloth for sure. Yeah. For sure. I hope that season 2 of Andor has more action than the first season. The first season has a good amount of action, but yeah, over 12 episodes, it's not that much. I think it's going to be more action-packed because season 1 was just 1 year. Season 2 is going to be 4 years stretched over the course of the season. So yeah. What about Luke? Yeah, Luke's not in my top 3. He's definitely in my top 10. Top 5, maybe, on a good day. But for me, I think Luke's story's just not done. It's not. Yes, he has an incredible arc in the original trilogy. Fantastic. In the sequels, he's not utilized all that much. His appearance in The Force Awakens is great. In The Last Jedi, he, of course, dies. But there's a whole middle of that story. Him getting his old Jedi temple, all that stuff, that's not there yet. And maybe Luke will be one of my favorite characters of all time at some point. He is one of them, but he's not top 3 for now. Yeah. Mark says, Bad Batch is my favorite animated show. It was mature from the beginning to end, in my opinion. Never childish. And I think Hemlock is the best villain post-Disney. Hemlock's a great villain for sure. He's not better for me than Chimere or Kylo. But yeah, he's a great villain for sure. For sure. Or Thrawn for that matter. But Thrawn is technically a Legends character. Bad Batch is a great show. Absolutely great show. Third season is peak Star Wars in my personal opinion. First 2 seasons, not as much. I just have Rebels over it. Yeah. What if Jecki lived? She could have been an epic level of awesome. Maybe better than Ahsoka? Probably not. But she would have been cool. Obviously, she got, stabbed 3 times in the chest. But you can't win them all. Yeah. The world between worlds is a very cool thing. When you look at what George Lucas did, he always tried to sort of make something cool and new. From the Mortis gods and the Clone Wars to all these different cool aspects of the Force itself with the wills of the Force and all that stuff. He always tried to break the rules and create new ones. When it came to Dave Filoni and, of course, George Lucas leaving the company, selling it to Disney, taking those risks, doing those crazy things, didn't happen as much. And in Star Wars Rebels, the world between worlds was introduced. And my God, is it something cool. A big risk, absolutely huge risk, but it's so damn cool. And a very cool plot device sort of deal to keep Ahsoka alive. But it's also a very cool thing to keep mystery about the Force, you know? So much is explained in Star Wars. Some stuff just doesn't need to be, you know? Oh my God, Darth Drafter with a $20 hollow, one of the biggest super chats in channel history. I think 20 is still the biggest of all time, so you just tied it right there. It says, get another Funko on me, cheers. Oh my God, you didn't even ask a question. You didn't even ask for an impression. Darth Drafter, have you lost your goddamn mind? I appreciate it, I really, really do. That is very, very generous. $20 hollow, god damn. Biggest super chat of all time. I appreciate it. I like pretty niche and whole ensemble, the pretty niche and whole ensemble of Rebels, and especially when they pick up AP5. I love that droid. He's a great droid for sure. You add him to the dynamic of Chopper as well. He's great. Favorite character is all of them. Good option. Luke, Obi-Wan, and Anakin. Obi-Wan's definitely in my top 5 for sure. Chopper and Thrawn. Great choices. Great choices. In the past, R2, Chewie, currently Han and K2SO. Great. Who's your favorite Star Wars character that isn't a Jedi or Force user? Mine might be Cassian Andor. Isn't a Force user or a Jedi. So, not Anakin. Not Ahsoka, not Maul. Not Obi-Wan, not Luke. Not Ezra. Not Kymir. Not Yoda. This is tough. Han. I would probably say Han Solo. Han Solo or... Who are some other great non-Force using characters in Star Wars? Cassian's a great one. But I feel like I'm missing some big ones. Real big ones. Boba Fett. Boba Fett's great. Oh, Din Djarin. Din Djarin's a great one as well. This is tough. Chewbacca. Chewbacca's a great one. Luthen. Luthen's good. Luthen's my favorite Andor character. He's not my favorite character of all time. Cad Bane. There you go. Yeah. Favorite bounty hunter of all time. Cad Bane. Can't beat that. Bo-Katan's great. Bo-Katan is great. Fennec Shan's pretty good. Chewbacca, of course. Of course. Chewbacca. R2-D2, C-3PO, droids. You gotta think about droids too. Droids, you know. Yeah, no. Yeah. Lando, Hondo. Got those two. Padme. There you go. Chopper. Oh my God. See, we're just not thinking. We're not thinking. We're just not thinking, chat. Rocco, what's up? Says, hello. First time on your stream. Just rewatched the first season of Ahsoka. Still loving it. That's awesome. Ahsoka's great. And welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being here. K2SO. K2SO is great. That's great. Put a dark side helmet on Baylan and recast him. That's a possibility too. Just put a helmet on him. But you have to explain how he got the helmet and show that. So you'd either have to deep fake him or recast him to do so. Yeah. Yeah. We need more Baylan. What was the news with his recast? Oh, what was the news with this recast? So a few weeks ago, this was a little bit ago, there was a report that Lucasfilm themselves is now casting for a recast of Baylan Skoll. Now, take that with a giant grain of salt because it hasn't been confirmed by Lucasfilm themselves. In that report, it was also talked about that Abeloth was being cast as well, or a character known as the Mother, which of course is Abeloth. So, again, it's just a report. Could be wrong. Could be true. We don't know yet. But the report was that Baylan Skoll was being recast. And that makes sense because Rey's, of course, gone. And he was only in one season. So it makes the most sense. Yeah. For sure. Catherine, what's up? What is up? Kanan is good too. Yeah, Kanan's great. For sure. For sure. You want to get his mask tattoo? That would be a cool tattoo. That would be a cool tattoo. Yeah. Do him like the Black Panther funeral and everything. Pissed me completely off again. Did you not like that? There's some people who really didn't like that. Wakanda Forever just doing the sort of death of T'Challa off screen. It was done well. Wasn't a big fan of it. Obviously, how else are you going to do it type deal? Unless you recast the character, which they didn't want to do, which they probably shouldn't have with a character like Black Panther. So the difference with Baylan Skoll versus T'Challa or Ray Stevenson versus Chadwick is very big because at that point, Black Panther had been in 4 movies. He got his own solo movie. Like there's a big difference to that story versus Baylan Skoll's story here. Yeah. Absolutely. Russell Crowe is 6 feet tall. Ray Stevenson was 6'3". I think the difference would be noticeable, no? Well, you could put like stuff in his shoes or film it in a way where it looks like he's a little bit taller. You can put him on some high heels, for sure. Luke is going to be the GOAT of the next trilogy, mark my words. Starting with The Mandalorian and Grogu, I can say with 99% certainty. I think Luke, Leia, and Han will hopefully play a big role in the upcoming Mando trilogy. We don't know it to be true. We don't know if it's confirmed, but we do believe that there will be a Mando trilogy. I hope that they bring those 3 specific characters into the fold because seeing those 3 together, whether they're deepfaked or recast, is going to be such a feel-good moment for Star Wars fans. Yeah. Absolutely. Jedi don't get married officially at least. Oh, you're talking about Mara Jade and Luke Skywalker getting married? That would be a whole different situation because Luke's Jedi Order is different than the Jedi that came before because the Jedi that came before were clearly not good. I know so many people look up to those Jedi like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Mace Windu as their heroes, as they should be. They are heroes in the story, but they're very corrupted. Corrupted by the dark side, corrupted by Palpatine, all that stuff. They're just corrupted in general. They allow Palpatine to rise up right below their stupid faces. So all that detachment, all that stuff that Qui-Gon didn't really see. The reason Qui-Gon didn't go on the council. The same thing with Soul in the Acolyte. Luke sees that too. The attachment that he brings out of Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi, or Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi, that is what he's going to base his whole Jedi Order off of. So he's not going to be the same as those old Jedi. So he could get married, technically. Yeah. Liev Schreiber's height, 6'3", same as Rey? No way. Is he really? Liev just seems like the no-brainer option. He looks like him. He's the same height as him. It'd be pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah. Zap, what's up? Universal, how we doing? Qui-Gon was the exception. Yeah, he really was. But that's why he didn't go on the council either, you know? It's true. I hope Shin Hati blinks this season. Does she actually not blink at all in season 1? I know she doesn't blink a lot, but is it none? 0? Zip? Nada? Really? Really? Cornerstone Worship, what's up? Retracted their message. Okay. Oh, says Fennec Shand. Okay. Cool. Brandon, what's up? Says, do you think if Luke Skywalker is recast, Sebastian Shaw should play him in Dave Filoni's movie one day? If Luke Skywalker was to be recast, yes, Sebastian Stan would be that guy. Do I want Luke Skywalker to be recast? Absolutely not. No. SG Scooby, what's up, says Sigourney Weaver has clearly been cast as Abeloth. No, I don't think they would do that for a few reasons. First, she got cast for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, not Ahsoka Season 2. And I don't think the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to have Abeloth in it. Maybe it will, but I don't think so. And yes, maybe her facial features do look similar to an Abeloth type character, but I for some reason I see Sigourney as a good guy or good character, you know? Yeah. 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 Are there Funko Pops figures from the Acolyte yet? I might need a chimere. Actually, I don't know. Funko Pops Acolyte. Yeah, I guess there are. I don't know if they're out yet, but there are. Actually, didn't we do a giveaway? No, we didn't do a giveaway of these. But yeah, there's Osha, there's Chimere, there's Yord, there's Soul, there's Basil. There you go. There you go. Oh, I just scrolled down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here we go. Hondo for real is one of my new favorite characters. Well, he's not that new. Hondo's been around since Clone Wars. Maybe Baylan will go a little Palpatine with his face and get all messed up with some power and then recast as easy. It could be. We don't know Baylan Skoll to be able to use Force Lightning, though. That's sort of the issue there. Yeah. I wouldn't want there to be a recast of Baylan. I think it's better if he just turns into a wolf and remains one. I think turning him into a wolf would be a little bit difficult, explaining wise. Like, why? You know? Why would that happen? You know? Oh my, you guys are freaking crazy. Okay. Kids are watching WWE. Honestly, guys, any WWE fans out there? Because I've not watched a single second of it. Sorry. Okay. Shin the Blinkless. That's pretty funny. No need to recast Baylan. Just let him simply turn into a wolf. I don't see that happening. No, I don't. When do you think pre-Cyborg Grievous will show the Bad Batch? Will show with Bad Batch animation? Could happen one day. It could definitely happen one day. I would love to see a Tales of the Grievous. See something pre-Cyborg Grievous would be great. His origin story is fantastic. Is it canon though? You could tell it in canon at least. That's for sure. What's WWE? I believe it stands for World Wide Web. No, it stands for. What does it stand for? WWE stands for something wrestling something. I actually don't even know what it stands for. I guess not. Yeah, I don't know. I guess not. World Wrestling, ... I don't know. Mike, do you listen to any particular music? I'm honestly a fan of really old stuff. I wouldn't say really old stuff, but like the Beatles, the Eagles, Billy Joel, Elton John. You know, that time. Anything from like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that's my stuff. Is it World Wrestling Entertainment? Dang, is it World Wrestling Entertainment? For real? I don't believe you guys. Sorry. What does WWE stand for? I feel like we're stupid right now. It's World Wrestling Entertainment. Okay. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I like the Eagles. Eagles are great. Eagles are great. I'm glad you didn't call the 80s really old stuff. Well, I mean, at some point it becomes really old stuff, but I'm more talking like 50s, you know? Yeah, no? Just have a Wampa hit Baylan in the first episode. The recast is easy. Oh my God. Have a Wampa hit him? Jeez. You guys are crazy. All right, I'm going to end this poll and let's start up a new one. Let's start up a new one. And that is, do you think Anakin Skywalker will, that's not how you spell Skywalker, will appear in Ahsoka Season 2? So, this is an interesting one to me. There we go. Season 2. Yes or no? Do you think Anakin Skywalker will show up in Ahsoka Season 2? Obviously, let's talk about the obvious. He was in Season 1. Clearly. He was in the World Between Worlds, but he also was a Force ghost at the end on Peridia. Now, a lot of conversation has been brought up about that. Is he truly there, or is that just for the audience's sake? Because Ahsoka, when she's looking off into the distance, she's looking all around. She's not really looking directly at Anakin. So was he really there, or was that just for the audience's perspective, just to see the Force ghost of him there? And if he is truly there, can he only show up now as a Force ghost on Peridia? Because he doesn't show up in the sequel trilogy. There's no evidence in comics or books that he shows up as a Force ghost to Luke at any time in between the originals and the sequel trilogy. The only other time we ever see Anakin's Force ghost is at the end of Return of the Jedi on Andor. After that, he's gone forever. So where does he go? The same can be said about Obi-Wan's and Yoda's Force ghost too. Yoda's Force ghost does appear in The Last Jedi, but Obi-Wan's disappears forever too. So where do they go? What's the deal with these Force ghosts? What happens? We've seen only a few Force ghosts in Star Wars. It's a very new thing in the timeline. When you look at the Jedi having been around for 25,000 years, Qui-Gon Jinn is the first one to only really discover the ability to live after life, to become a Force ghost. And Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, well, now with the sequel trilogy, Leia and Luke as well. But those are the only characters we know of that have become Force ghosts. So where do they go? So many questions remain when it comes to Force ghosts. And Anakin specifically, possibility of showing up in Season 2 of Ahsoka, things might be answered about Force ghosts. Whether or not he shows up, whether or not he shows up physically as a Force ghost to Ahsoka, to Sabine, to Huge Wang. That will be very, very important because it'll explain where he's been this whole time, why he doesn't show up in the sequel trilogy. All that needs to be explained. Now, could he show up in the World Between Worlds? I don't think we're going to get another World Between Worlds sequence in Ahsoka Season 2. I think it served its purpose in Season 1. I think it should be very, very small. It shouldn't be utilized that much. But tell me in the chat, do you think Anakin will be in Ahsoka Season 2? And if so, why? Because right now, this poll sits at 81% of you guys say yes. How? Why? Where's his Force ghost been all these other years? Why didn't he come to Ahsoka sooner? Why doesn't he go to Luke? Why doesn't he go to Kylo in the sequel trilogy? Why? Let's see it, chat. I'd prefer that they recast more often. Deepfake technology is just not there yet. I agree and disagree at some points. I don't think the technology was there during The Mandalorian Season 2, but it was in the Book of Boba Fett. It was in Ahsoka Season 1 with Hayden. So there's different scenarios, obviously, like Ray Stevenson versus Mark Hamill, versus Carrie Fisher versus Harrison Ford versus Hayden Christensen. There's different scenarios and different opportunities to recast or deepfake. So it kind of, you got to take it one case at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Who's your favorite Star Wars character that isn't a Jedi or Force user? I believe we already answered that, no? Force ghosts can appear anywhere. No? That's the thing. We don't know. Qui-Gon in Obi-Wan Kenobi appears to Obi-Wan. But he only appears to Obi-Wan because he opens up to it. Obi-Wan cuts himself off with the Force, so he's not able to communicate with his master. You know? There's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to Force ghosts. Yeah. But he's watching over her now. I feel like with Abeloth rising, he might need to lead her as Ghost Obi-Wan did for Luke. That could be true too. Obi-Wan does play a big role in Luke's training. That is when he goes to Dagobah and trains with Yoda. But he's not physically there to train him. And I don't think Anakin's going to physically be there to train Ahsoka either. But if So in the Mortis arc in the Clone Wars, it's made clear to us that Anakin's goal, being that he is the chosen one, is to take the role of the father and become the living embodiment of the dark side and the light side and the balance between. Okay? Some fans believe that that's what happened to him. Now, in the afterlife, he has become the father of the Mortis gods. If that is true, and Abeloth is freed by Baylan Skoll, then Anakin himself might have to interfere. He might have to maybe even come into physical form again to reappear to deal with that. Because Abeloth is that big of a threat. If that's the case, if that's the way we're going to go down, if Anakin is truly the father now, he might have to play a role in Ahsoka Season 2, and a big one. A really big one. Yeah. Hayden Christensen played a big role as Anakin Skywalker in flashbacks and as a Force ghost. Yeah, he already has. But the question is, will he again? Hayden wants to come back. Fans want Hayden to come back. That's a no-brainer. Fans want Ewan to come back too. There's a possibility with flashbacks that you could see Anakin as well. You don't have to see him as a Force ghost or in current day. But in flashbacks, maybe not in the World Between Worlds, but just Ahsoka having a dream. An explanation dream to explain what the World Between, or not the World Between Worlds, sorry, what Mortis is and what the Mortis gods are. Maybe a live action version of that Mortis arc. Bring Ariana Greenblatt back. Bring Ariana Greenblatt back. Easy for me to say. And have her be young Ahsoka again in the Mortis arc. Have her come back, have Hayden come back and be Anakin, have Ewan come back in the iconic Clone Wars armor and show that arc, or at least explain the arc of the Mortis gods. Maybe because Ahsoka's mind got wiped from that arc, some of that information is coming back to her now that she is facing off against Abeloth or confronting those Mortis god statues in Ahsoka. Maybe when she sees those statues, it triggers something in her brain, and then she remembers what happened on Mortis, because their minds were wiped. Their minds were wiped. Yeah. Obi-Wan talked to Luke in A New Hope during his bombing run. That is true. That is true. Voice in the wind type stuff? Maybe. We haven't really seen much of that. So maybe Anakin could be a voice in the wind for Ahsoka, too. Use the Force, Ahsoka. Hayden landed the role of a lifetime. He can show up anywhere and everywhere he wants. Him and Mark, too. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty much just royalty in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. It wouldn't make sense for him to show up to anyone but Ahsoka. But is that how Force Ghosts are going to work? You can only show up to your apprentices? But Anakin wasn't Luke's apprentice. Or Luke wasn't Anakin's apprentice. Why does Anakin appear to Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi? I don't know. It is interesting. I think Ahsoka should have died in Rebels. I think Filoni introduced the World Between Worlds so that he could bring her back. I mean, you could argue that for sure, but Ahsoka deserves all this. She is a legacy character, if there ever was one. And coming to live action finally was fantastic, and hopefully she comes to the big screen at some point too. The Emperor was blocking Anakin's presence, maybe. I like that quite a bit, actually. Explaining Palpatine's effects from Exegol on the galaxy would be really, really cool. And if those effects are Anakin can't show up as a Force ghost anymore because he's still alive on Exegol, so he can't appear to Luke, that would be pretty damn cool. And maybe the reason he can appear to Ahsoka on Peridia is because that's in a completely different galaxy. See, now we're on to something, chat. We're putting the pieces together. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anakin has come to his Padawan in the most dire times in need as they are trapped. So you're thinking he will appear to them, but only when they need him? Interesting. Interesting. The Force is all around us. That's true. But somebody can be manipulating the Force. Could be. I wish recast happened more often than deepfakes. I really liked Alden Ehrenreich as Han. I'd rather watch him than CGI. That is an interesting one, because I did like Alden in Solo. I do think Solo is a pretty solid movie. And Donald Glover as Lando is great too. I think there's just... I mean, I love Luke in the Book of Boba Fett, and that's all deepfaked. So there's, again, different cases here. Yeah. The idea is for Luke to defeat Thrawn at the end of the trilogy. It will be different. It will be a different villain from the first movies, so I don't know yet who it will be. I think Luke defeating Thrawn is not that good of storytelling. I don't. Yes, Luke is your main hero of the original trilogy. You want him to be badass. You want him to win all the time. But I don't think he is. I don't think he's the guy who deserves to do it. Ahsoka deserves it more. Ezra deserves it more. Hera deserves it more. Think about what Thrawn has taken from Hera Syndulla. Not just her husband and father of her child in Kanan Jarrus, but he could be taking more. Her friends. Could be killing Ezra. Could be killing Sabine. And there Mike goes killing everybody again. But that's possibility. Hera Syndulla, I think, being a non-Force user and being a strategic mind and having very, very personal connection to Grand Admiral Thrawn, I think she has the right the most to be the one who kills him. Yeah. Even though she's not a Force user and doesn't wield a lightsaber. Yeah. Yeah. Anakin's got to be the father. Ahsoka's already the daughter, so who's the son? Baylan? I wouldn't say Baylan. I think Maul is the best bet for the son, not just because he's my third favorite character, but because he's fully dark side and is fully dark side his whole life. Baylan was with the light at one point. Even characters like Kylo Ren comes back to the light. Darth Vader comes back to the light, and of course that's Anakin anyway. I mean, Palpatine would be a good one for the son, but Palpatine's older than Anakin and Ahsoka. Yeah. Maul is dead. Well, they all have to be dead. Anakin's dead too. Ahsoka's not dead, but she will be. At some point. Yeah. At the end of Return of the Jedi, he didn't interact with Luke. He just looked at them. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Of course. Will we ever get to see Luke and Anakin interact? I hope so. I mean, that's something that fans have been begging for years, so I'd certainly like to see it, but we'll see. We shall see. Alan, what's up? Been a while. Joined late. What'd I miss? Well, a lot. About an hour and 50 minutes of a lot. Yeah. Ahsoka doesn't have training to see Force Ghosts. So do you need training to see Force Ghosts? Where do you get that training? Because Luke didn't have it. Luke definitely didn't have that training in Empire. No, he did not. You know? Recast Leia? I don't know. Okay? I don't want them to recast Leia. I don't want them to recast Luke either. Han, maybe, because they already did. I don't know. I love the idea of The Mandalorian and Grogu kickstarting a new trilogy moving forward. Yeah, I mean, it should be a no-brainer. They already have Dave Filoni's movie set up afterwards, so it would make the most sense to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Yoda trained him after the fact, though. Obi-Wan's Force Ghost appears to Luke on Hoth before Luke is trained with Yoda. Yeah. Kit Fisto, what's up? What is up? Force Ghosts appear to those who have attachments to them, and they do have them towards their Padawans and Masters, no doubt about that. But Qui-Gon's not able to appear to Obi-Wan until the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I agree with that, but there's still more to it, you know? Yeah, I know, Alan. It's been a while. What the hell? Where you been? No, I'm kidding. Did anybody hear about Skeleton Crew? Lots of news about Skeleton Crew? I haven't really heard much news about Skeleton Crew, no. I'm hoping to see a trailer at some point soon, but no, I have not. I think they'll recast Leia for the Mando movie. I don't think they will, actually. If they don't recast Luke, they won't recast Leia. That's for sure. Yeah. Since Ewan McGregor has stated that he is open to returning as Obi-Wan beyond the show, he could appear as an Obi-Wan Force ghost in a flashback for Ahsoka Season 2. I think the flashback is more likely for a Clone Wars type deal, but yeah. Then which film and about whom would the second in the trilogy be? Well, they would all be interconnected. They'd all be these Mando-verse characters, but I'm hoping that this first movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, sets up Thrawn as a big threat. Because Thrawn obviously is a big threat in the Heir to the Empire trilogy in Legends. He's set up pretty well in Star Wars Rebels. He's set up pretty well in Ahsoka. But for the normie fans, the fans who only watch the live action stuff, the fans who don't read the books, all that, those fans don't know who Thrawn is. So their first introduction to Thrawn is going to be this Mando and Grogu movie. So they need to make Thrawn be this absolute menace and great, great villain. He's not a Force user. He's not a Sith. He's nothing like we've seen before as a villain in Star Wars, or at least the main villain in Star Wars. So they need to set him up to be extraordinary. And to pin him against Din and Grogu obviously being a Force user, but he's still a baby, technically, 50-year-old baby. But to set him up against Din Djarin, who's not a Force user, is smart. And that's why I think Din Djarin will die in that movie to set the stage very, very high for Grand Admiral Thrawn. But Thrawn will be probably the villain for the remainder of the trilogy. Yeah. For sure. I kind of hope Mando dies in his movie. See? See, chat? I'm not the only one. Okay? Opportunity for some serious consequence coming up against the Imperial Remnant and Thrawn. Yes, it would allow there to be a big threat and immediately go, oh my God, Din Djarin, this incredible new character from 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, their hit TV show, just died to this guy? Dang, he might mean some good or some bad news. Not good news. He might be some bad news. Yeah. There will be no more recasting to all the original 3. They will all be deepfaked. I would guess so, yes. Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost spoke to Luke after he died on the Death Star. No training there. Same as the bombing run in the X-Wing 2. Yes, exactly. Exactly. He better. Thrawn is the absolute GOAT. Yeah, Thrawn is great, and so many fans know him to be this great villain, but that's mostly from Legends or from canon that's from the prequel era or original trilogy era. We haven't really seen Thrawn in canon other than Ahsoka in this post-original trilogy world, and he needs to set himself up to be the villain that we know him to be, you know? Yeah, now? If there was a live-action Clone Wars, Count Dooku would likely be CGI'd. They'd get sued 8 years later. No, that was sort of just a money grab, it seems like. Yeah, that wasn't really anything. Yeah. Yeah. Din Djarin dying and Grogu looking at his corpse sounds like the saddest thought, though. Yeah, it's sad, but that's the purpose of it. It's very important for Grogu's character to see Din Djarin die. It could set him down a dark path, but it could also set him down a light path, and it would just be a very big character development point for Grogu. Din Djarin's not going to live as long as Grogu, that's for damn sure. And now he has this crazy attachment to that character, and seeing him die is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah. You really want Grogu to become an orphan? Din Djarin won't die. Okay, here's the deal. Grogu's going to live for 800 more years. Din Djarin is not. He's going to die at some point, and it's going to be a pretty bad thing for Grogu either way. Okay? Okay. I tell you, Thrawn is such a powerhouse. His strategies are so genius, similar to those of Vice Admiral Nelson, who is a genius naval warfare during the Neopolitan Wars. Okay, sure. Yes, I agree with you. Thrawn is the strategic genius. So Palpatine's a Sith Lord, obviously. He's a genius in one way or another. He did control both sides of the Clone Wars. He does control the galaxy at large for years and years and years. But he's a Sith Lord. He has a lightsaber. He has Force lightning. He has the Force. Thrawn doesn't have any of that. So it's his mind that makes him the villain that he is, you know? TJ, what's up? What is up? TJ, is your profile picture Star Wars Outlaws? That's pretty cool. John Groom, what is up? John, what time is it for you? Yeah. I've been speculating for a long time that Grogu would turn to the dark side. His theme being a major version of Kylo Ren's theme in music. That is a pretty interesting point. That is pretty good. I'd love to see Grogu go down a dark path, for sure. It'd be cool. Twould be cool. Serious question. Are Baylan and Shin's sabers actually orange, or are they red and they just kind of look orange-ish? They are orange. Dave Filoni himself has confirmed that. They are orange, and there's a reason for that. Yeah. 1 a.m., John? Damn. Yeah. They are orange. It's rumored that Anakin will appear in Season 2. I want more Hayden. I definitely want more Hayden, for sure. 2 a.m.? Damn, Felix. Go to bed. Here's the thing. Once this live stream ends, I got to go make a what if, or finish making the what if. It's going to take me probably till 2 a.m. It's almost 8 p.m. now, so it's going to take me quite a while. I did the same thing to myself last weekend. I'm an idiot. I'm going to work harder. See, here's the thing. Once I finish the what if, the next one starts, because I do them every Sunday, or I try to. So the next one starts. So Monday, I start writing the script for the next one. Or I come up with the idea, and then I write the script. Tuesday, I'm still writing the script. Wednesday, I'm still writing the script. Thursday, I stop, and I take a day off from the script. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got time. Friday, I'm like, oh, I got time. And then stuff gets in the way. These last 2 Saturdays, I've had a busy morning and afternoons where I haven't been able to do any of it. Stupid me. I find myself on Saturday night having to cut it close to my deadline of Sunday, which, by the way, tomorrow morning I have stuff to do, so I can't do it in the morning. So I got to finish it all tonight. So I have the script done and everything, and I have some of the intro done, but I haven't been able to do anything else about it. So I just got to fix the schedule on making these things. I got to write the script on like Monday, Tuesday, then start filming on Wednesday. So I have stuff ready for the end of the week. But that's just me, a little sneak behind the curtain, a little behind the scenes. What I'm going to be doing after I turn off this camera is turn it back on and start filming this what if video. Yeah. All right. But actually, with that being said, I am going to have to get on out of here as we are hitting the 2-hour mark very, very soon. So with that, I've ended this poll. 85% of you guys do think that Anakin will show up in Ahsoka Season 2. Pretty wild. Mike has never seen Fifth Element. Oh my God. No, I have not. Okay? Okay. But I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to get on out of here. Huge shout-outs to Darth Drafter for tying the biggest super chat in channel history with a $20 holla. Chris, Sonny, another Mike who loves Star Wars. Sonny again, Drafter again. I appreciate all the super chats. I really, really do. You guys are absolutely amazing. And all you members out there, I appreciate you guys so much more than you will ever know. And everybody else just watching, you guys are loved by all. Okay. And if you are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Inklet, what's up? All right. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Smash a freaking like on this stream. Freaking like on this stream. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified. Oh, why did it do that? Every time I post a video in my pretty face, I'll show up in the recommended feed of yours. How many likes do we have? Oh, we got a pretty good amount of likes. That's okay. Okay. I appreciate you guys. May the Force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you guys so much more than you will ever know. Whew, wow, that was a crazy stream. Not gonna lie. That was really wild. I walked in the door 30 seconds before I started the stream. Absolutely wild. Joe, what the heck? You missed it. That's fine. All right. But I'll see you guys next time. Watch out for that what if video tomorrow. I'm getting it done tonight. I don't care. I'm locked in. I'm getting it done tonight. Watch out for that video tomorrow of what if Padme didn't die of sadness. Coming out tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check it out. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.